Oh, and we're live, yeah. Okay, so last day for percents, and next day we're gonna move on to ratio. So no test yet. We'll discuss a test next week. I have to still think about it. All right, so we'll test, if we do a test, it'll be on 2 chapters, because these 2 chapters are short. So we finished 1 chapter this week, we'll finish another chapter next week, and they're very much, well, related. All right, so today we are doing a lesson on combining percents, okay? So there's many times you'll be given 2% in a question, and then what can you do with them? And many times those 2% can simply be combined by adding them, right? For instance, if you're given a question and say, hey, you buy this jacket for $40. How much money do you pay in tax? Right? Or how much money do you pay altogether for that jacket? Right? When you do taxes, there's 2 types of tax. There's a GST, which goes to the federal government, and there's a PSD that goes to the provincial government. So there's a 5% tax and a 7% tax, and these taxes vary depending on what province you're on. Now, what you could do in this example is say, hey, you're buying a jacket for 40%. What's the tax on it? You could go 0.05, turn that percentage into a decimal, and multiply it by 40. And say, okay, the 5% tax is 0.05 times 40, and say, so you're paying $2 in taxes here. And you're also paying $7% in tax. So you turn the 7% into a decimal of your jacket, which costs $40. Altogether, you are paying, let's see, 0.07 times 40, and you can say that equals $2.80. So altogether, you're paying $4.80 on tax on this jacket. Now, instead of doing this in 2 steps, we like to be efficient in math as much as possible. We could actually just add these percentages together. We could say, what's 5 plus 7? What's that number? 12, right? So we can say we are actually paying a total of 12% tax. So we can say on this jacket that costs $40, we're going to pay 12% tax. So 0.12 times 40, and we should get the same answer. We should go 0.12 times 40, and we get $4.80 in tax. Okay? So this is just a shortcut way of doing some of the math. Instead of doing it in 2 steps, you can do it in 1 step. Now, often these kind of questions are not just like, hey, how much tax did you pay? But it'll be also like, hey, how much money do you pay altogether? Well, the jacket costs $40, and you're paying $4.80 in tax. How much did it cost you altogether to purchase this jacket? What would it be? Yeah, $44.80, right? So you take your tax, you add it on. Now, there's actually another way of doing it. So I'm going to teach you lots of different techniques, and you pick the method that works best for you. If you prefer to do each one separately, go for it. If you think you can handle doing many steps in one, go do that approach. Now, another way we can do this is saying, hey, we're going to pay the amount of the jacket, which is 100%, right, plus another 12%. So we're actually paying 112% for this jacket, right? 100% for the jacket and another 12% for the tax. That, as a decimal, will be 1.12. So if you wanted to find out the total price of the jacket, including tax, all in 1 step, you could just say, hey, what's 112% of 40? So you just multiply those 2 together. 1.12 times 40, and we should hopefully be able to do it all in 1 step. So So we go 1.12 times 40, and it should hopefully equal the same amount, $44.80. Right? So this is showing you different strategies to do the same thing. Right? And if you're capable of thinking these steps in your head, I would highly encourage you to be able to do this. Right? It's just a lot more efficient. But if you're not there yet, you could do the 5% tax, you can do 7% tax, figure out the tax and add it to the total. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's just a little bit slower. Okay. So, I'm going to have you guys do example 1. So, you're going to buy a stereo system for $500 or $499. And the tax, the GST in this province that you're purchasing it at is 6%, and the PST is 11%. So the question is, what is the total tax, and how much do you pay altogether for this stereo system? Right. So there's two questions here. Right. And think about the jacket question we just did. So I'm going to pause, give you guys a minute or two to work on this. Calculators definitely necessary. I'm not expecting you to be able to do this in your head. So let's do this. All right. Some people have already got it done. Some people are like, I just don't get this yet, Mr. Dollywall, so I'll help you out. Okay. So what is the total tax percentage we're paying? All right. We're paying 6% GST and 11% PST. So how much percentage are we paying tax? Sorry? Or 17%, which is 0.17. So total tax is 17%. And that can be rewritten as a decimal as 0.17. Now, you could do this as walking around. Some people were doing the two taxes separately, and that's completely fine. So you could do this question as a 6% tax and 11% tax. And the answer should be the same at the end. All right, but I'm going to show you combining percents because that's the point of this lesson. So the amount of money we pay in tax we pay 17% of our price of the stereo system. That's $4.99. So we go 0.17 times $4.99 and 0.17 times $4.99. Oops, that didn't work. $4.99 is $84.83. Okay, that's how much money we pay in tax. So how much did the stereo system cost? What did we do? Right, we paid $84.83. And what's our next step to find out how much is the total bill? Yes, Dylan. Add it. Yeah, add it to the price of the system. So the system costs $4.99, and we pay $84.83 in tax, and we just add those two numbers. So I'm going to add $4.99, and we get $583.83. Okay? So that is our total cost. Okay. Now, you may have done it slightly different. You may have chosen to use this approach, multiplying by 1.17. That's fine if you did it that way, right? You should end up with the same answer. Okay. Now, I do hope that you do end up adding these percents, and a lot of students do end up adding the percents because it's faster, one less thing for you to do, and one less chance to make a mistake. But I don't want you getting carried away. If you get see 2% in a question, it doesn't mean that you necessarily always add those 2% together and do the question. You have to put the context of the question into place. So there's other questions where you do percents of percents. And These ones, you just cannot add the two percentages you see together, right? Okay, in the first two examples we did with the jacket and the stereo system, we could add the 2% because we're doing the tax on the same thing. We're taking the tax on the jacket. We're taking the PST on the jacket. We're taking the GST on the tax on the jacket or on the stereo. They're taking the tax on the same thing. There's a different kind of questions where those percentages refer to different amounts, and in those situations you just can't add, right? Let's do an example to show you how. Okay. We say there are 800 geese that are live in a given watershed. In the first year, their population decreases by 5%. In the second year, the population decreases by 10%. How many of these geese are left after the second year? Right? Now, we can't just add 5 and 10% to make 15% here because the population has changed. The first 5% is referring to the 800 geese at the end of the first year, but this 10% here is referring to, hey, how many geese are left after the first year? It's not 800 because that amount has gone down. So in order to do this, we do this 2 steps. We do the 5% calculation, figure out how much is left, then we do another 10% calculation. So let's figure this out. After year 1, what is the population? Okay, you could say, how much did it go down by? Well, 5% is 0.05 times 800. So after the first year, 0.05 times 800. The population went down by 40 geese. So how many geese are there at the beginning of the second year? Right? How do you figure that out? How many geese are there at the end of the first year or beginning? Yes, Gordon?
760?
760, right?
By subtracting 800.
Yeah, by subtracting the 40 from the 800, right? So we lost 40 geese. So at the end of the first year, there's 800 minus 40. Okay? So there are 760 geese left. Right? The first one is how many we lost. We lost 40, and this is how much is left. Right? So in the second year now, in year 2, they say that we lose 10%. So if we lose 10%, that's 0.10 as a decimal. 10% of what population? It's not the 800. We said at the end of the first year, we're only left with 760 geese. So 10% of the 760 geese. Okay? And we go 0.10 times 760, so 0.1 times 760, and that equals 76 geese. Is that how many geese are left? I heard a no. Who was that? Dylan? So what's the 76 referring to? How many died? How many did we lose? So how many are left at the end of the second year? Right? We go, how much did we start off? We start off with 760 geese, and we lost 76. There. There you go, 760 minus our 76 geese that we lost. We have 684 geese left. Right? So you give a little statement. After 2 years, there are 684 geese left. Okay. All right. So now, when I was growing up, you go to the store and they used to have different kinds of sales. So it'll be an example of these percents of percents. And so I have an example of one of these kind of sales that they used to offer. I'm not sure if they do these kind of sales tactics anymore. Sports Checks offers a 10% discount one day, then an additional 10% off the sale price the next day. Right? Oh, sorry, that's Sports Check. But SportsMart offers a 20% discount for one day only. So Adam wants to buy this new helmet for $150. Which store gives the better deal? So the original price is $150. Which store is giving us the best deal? All right. So let's calculate how much you would spend in each situation, right? Because you look at this. This is 10% and 10%. It looks like it's 20%. Does it add up to being more or less money compared to the other store, right? So let's do Sports Check first. Sports Check. Okay. On day one, they give you 10% off, right? So that is 10% as a decimal is 0.10, right? We're dividing by 100 or moving the decimal 2 places to the left. Then we multiply by the price of the item. So 10% of 150. So you're multiplying those numbers. So you go 0.1 times 50. That equals, that didn't look right. Oh, 0.1 of 150. I didn't type it in right. 150 is $15 off. So first day you get a discount of $15. Okay. Then on day 2 you get another 10% off. Right? Not another 10% off the 150, but of the already reduced price. So how much is the price at the end of the first day? Is you go 150 minus 15, which is $135 at the end of the first day. So on day 2, they give you another discount of 10% on the sale price, which is $135. So on day 2, you save 10% of 135. So you go 0.1 times 135, which is $13.15. So how much do you pay? Well, you pay your $135, which was the price of the jacket, minus, or the helmet, $13.50. Go 135 minus $13.50 equals $121.50. Okay. So now we need to determine the price at SportsMart. Right? And this is a much easier calculation to do. We don't know if it's a better deal yet. Right? They're saying we're giving you a straight up 20% off. Right? So we go SportsMart's price is 20% off, which is 0.2, times the price of the item, which is 150. We're giving you a one-day sale, 20% off. So 0.2 times 150, we're knocking $30 off. That's what SportsMart is saying. So how much money are you paying for this for this helmet? All right? So you go 150 minus the 30, you're paying $120. So who's got the better deal? Sports Check or Sports Mart? Sports Mart. All right. Sport Mart has the better deal. So the part B goes, well, if Sports Check wanted to be, say, more honest with their advertising, and because they made it look like they're giving 20% off, made it look like the same deal as Sport Mart, 10%, but it didn't really add up to 20% off. How much money did they really give you? What percentage did they really give you off? That's what the second question is asking you. So what single percentage is equivalent to 10% off one day and 10% off the second day, right? So to do this, we go, hey, how much money did they save us? Well, they saved us $15 on the first day and $13.50 on the second day, right? So they gave us $15 off the first day, and they gave us $13.50 off the other day. So altogether, they gave us a discount of 15 plus $13.50, which is a $28.50 discount. Okay, so what percentage is that? So you go, well, what's $28.50 out of the price of the helmet? So you go $28.50 divided by the price of the helmet was $150, right? That's how you calculate percentages, is your mark, your score out of the total, right? So our total is 150. You got $28.50. So we go 28.50 divided by 150 equals 0.19. That is our percentage as a decimal, right? And how do you convert a decimal to a percentage? You multiply by 100. 0.19 times 100 gives us 19%. So what Sports Check did, they gave you a 19% discount in reality, but it made it look like there was a 20% off discount. That make a little bit of sense? It's hard math? What's going on? No? Got it? Okay. So using that logic on the back side of the page, no price of the items given here. We just say, hey, store A is giving you 50% off. And store B saying it's doing a 2-day sale. 25% off the first day, 20% off the second day. Can you tell me which store is giving you a better deal without doing any calculations? Right? Just your gut, which one's giving you a better deal? All right? Right? Which store is giving you a better deal? So, Alana, did you say something? Store A. And why would you think store A?
Because when you add up 25 and 20 equals 45.
So you add these two up, you get 45%. And that's definitely already less than 50%, right? So right off the bat, it seems like store A is giving us the better deal. And if you go back and you sort of think about how that helmet and the Sports Check and the Sports Marts story played out, is, hey, the second day, we're taking that discount on a smaller amount. So that's why it didn't equal out to a full 10% off. So this is, hey, we're giving you 25% off on the first day, then 20% off on a smaller amount the second day. So this is in reality, it's going to be less than an actual 45% total discount. So A is definitely going to be giving you a better deal, no matter what. Okay? So I know there's lots of stuff going on. I want you to practice one more of these tax questions here. All right? So do example 3. You're buying boots this time for $95. Your GST is 5%, your PST is 7%, right? Calculate the total tax on the boots. And how much do you pay all together? So there's little steps there to help you guide. So I'll stop for a moment there and let you do that. So it looks like we've got it, or we need a little help, right? So how much is the GST? How do we figure out that cost? Can somebody help me here? Like, how do we figure out the cost of the GST? All right. Yes, Alana.
You would convert the GST to a decimal.
So GST is a decimal, 5%, or 0.05. Then what do we do with that number, decimal?
You times it by 95.
You times it by 95. So I'm going to use times 95 in brackets here. Just another way of showing times 95. And what do you come up with? Do you have that number, Alana?
It's $4.75.
$4.75. And we do the same thing for the second one, the PST, 7 cents, 7% as a decimal, times 95. And this one would be $6.65. So how much do you pay altogether? Sorry, I should have rearranged the order of these ones. So what is our total tax? Is our 475 plus 665. We add those two numbers together. 475 plus 665 should be $11.40 in tax. So altogether we pay the original price of the boots plus our tax amount. So our 95 plus our $11.40. We end up with $106.40 you are going to pay for these boots. Now the second part of this question here is, hey, what decimal could you use to, instead of doing 3 or 4 steps here, all in one step, right? Since we're doing taxes on the same amount, we're not doing a reduce on top of a reduce or anything like that, we could have just added the 5% and the 7% together to make that into a 12% tax. Right? That if we use the 12% as a decimal, that would have given us the total tax. That would all in one step would have given us the $11.40. Now we can do this one step even faster. You say, hey, we want to also include the price of the boot in this percentage. Well, the boot is 100% of the original price, and we're going to pay another 12% on the top of that. So we're going to actually pay altogether 112% for purchasing these boots. So as a decimal, that'd be 112 divided by 100 would be 1.12 is the number we really want to use if you want to do this all in one step. So we could go 1.12 times our 95. And that should have given us the same answer in one step. $106.40. Right? But if you're not comfortable with doing that, that's fine. You can break it up into individual steps. Okay. Yeah, I know this is a long lesson. Thanks for holding in there. Final question, then we'll do a break. Okay. You head down to Canadian Tire with your family, you see a bike for $200, and it's on 10% off on sale. How much do you pay for this bike, including taxes? Okay. So the taxes are on top of your purchase price. So we need to figure out what the purchase price is. All right, so let's find out what the discount is. All right, let's find out what the discount is. We're saving 10%, they say. So turn the 10% into a decimal and we multiply it to the price. So 10% of $200. We are paying, or we are saving $20. All right, that's the discount. It's $20. So you're gonna, the price of this bike is actually 200 minus 20, which is $180 for this bike. Okay, but that's not what you pay at the till, because they want to add taxes, right? And the taxes help pay for your streets, your schools, my salary, thank you, and everything the city runs on, right? And your healthcare runs on. All right, so now we need to add taxes onto this. And we can add taxes all in one step. Well, if there is 5% GST and 7% PST, that is 12%, right? And altogether, we're going to pay the price of the bike plus our tax. So we're going to pay 112% altogether, which is 1.12 as a decimal. Right? So we go 1.12 times the price that we are paying. So we go 101.12 times our 180 for the bike. We're going to pay $201.60 for this bike. That makes sense, right? Now, if you don't like doing that 12%, adding 100%, you could have just said, hey, 180 times 0.12 and done it in two steps. 180 times 0.12. You can say, hey, I'm paying $21.60 in tax, and the price of the bike was 180. So 180 plus 21.60 is going to be the same answer. Hopefully, if the math is all good. It's $201.60. So you could have done it the other way, right? I'm just trying to show you efficient ways. So that's it. We are done, percents. Let's take a 20-minute break.